There were different administrators coming in over time, you know.
Were they from the nursing staff?
Yeah, because we had one that came from the States that came in with some big, I can't really remember her name, but it was really an uproar and an upsetting time because policies was being changing and procedures were being changed, and
Changing it for the better or for the worse?
it was upsetting everybody because it wasn't. It was for the worse because everybody was upset about it, and we were glad when she left. This continued in the rough time, continued bumping until things gradually worked out when people were coming back. Like say the first, when he did that really big cut when he came in, and so lasted about 4 years, and then people were bumped. Some people went to the States, some people went to, I have a friend that went out to Victoria in BC, and other people just went and were casual, because then you didn't have no security for casual.
I see. No union. Were they also?
You're in union, but you don't have a position, and you don't get the benefits.
I see.
What you have is like you can choose when you want to come in. You can refuse hours, they call it, oh, I'm busy, or I have something else to do, or whatever. But you want, you have to live, so you need some money. So people would come in and work quite a bit of casual.
I see.
So because there's no benefits with casual. When we became part of UNA, I think it was settled more because then we could bargain as one big union, and so I think things became better because there was no trying to get at one side and get the competition between both unions. So things became better because the bargain was steadfast, and the union, you felt stronger, that you have more power. There was the undercurrent, and nobody wanted us to talk about it. You said, oh, see, on the unit, you think somebody's not getting the right assignment, and they think maybe it's because you're black or whatever other nationality away from white. My incident that stand out with me would be when I just started as a new nurse on the unit that I stayed on, the nephrology unit. My first week and my first day, I was assigned to this patient who was completely mobile, couldn't do anything for herself. He had to do everything. And I was assigned, and I went in and I introduced myself, who I was, and she said to me, I don't want a black nurse.
That's what you told her?
And she told me, I don't want a black nurse.
And she can't help herself.
Yeah. And so you can imagine being a new nurse and a new unit and somebody tell you that. And so I was really hurt. So I went out and I told the supervisor. And she said, come with me. And we went back into the room, and she said to her, she's a nurse, she's qualified, and she's going to be a nurse.
The supervisor was what?
Yeah. So she went in and said, she's qualified, she's capable, and she's going to be a nurse.
And what did the patient do?
Nothing. And she was on that unit between, I would say, a year. Because you had us to do everything for her. So
how did she continue to react to it?
I continued to have her as assignment, and my philosophy was, as long as you don't hit me, as long as you don't hit me, when it comes to racial things or whatever it is, I let it slide as ducks, water for ducks. Back home we have this feeling, this saying, you let it slide. You just take it, let it slide, and you do the best that you can, and you show them the other part of you. You just turn the other cheek. Because it wasn't mentioned, but you feel it.
What impact it had on you?
Well, it had an impact that,
Feel disrespected?
well, it's like if you wouldn't get anywhere, you wouldn't get promoted. But after a while, I got so much experience because I stayed on that unit. So when new nurses come in, were hired, or that is better. When new nurse hired, there was about five of us that would take turns teaching those nurses the skills, like because with dialysis and renal problem, there's skills you have to develop to do the procedures. So I was one of those nurses that, taught these new staff. Take them for a couple of days and you go train them, take them to the workshop. But I felt after a while it wasn't happening, and I was wondering, is it because I'm black? After that supervisor left, another supervisor came in, it wasn't happening.